Yo, 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 yo.
What's up?
We're here again.
I mean, we haven't really left, have we?
Yeah. If you guys couldn't tell, we're same time because we got stuff to do in it.
Like, we just have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Look, if by the time this comes out, we might be in lockdown again. We actually might be
in lockdown again, which will mean no more studio. Not being in the studio is actually so tragic.
Just when we're filming stuff and it's flowing. Yeah, nah. But,
welcome to track 29, you guys. We're basically about to be on our 30th episode soon. That's mad.
Coming soon, real soon. This has been this whole thing, like when we did the anniversary thing and then Bryson dropped anniversary, is like it's been so like it's just been happening fast. Damn.
Everything's been pretty quick.
But from where we're at currently, well, one thing that was saying was Cineworld was gonna close.
Let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, we didn't.
It's your girl Lex.
I'm so frazzled. It's your boy Denzel.
And you're locked into
TwinPodcast.
Just in case you ain't know where you at.
Fam, it's class. I stayed up watching the NBA thing, innit? by the time this is out, we'll know who won. Damn. Because Jimmy Buckets. Anyway. Yeah. So where we're at now, saying that Cineworld could close.
Cineworld is closing.
Oh yeah, they're closing down. Yeah, they're closing out all their stores.
Basically this week. By the time this is out, it would be closed for like it would have been closed for like two weeks.
Yeah.
Mad. Cineworld closing is actually
so
tragic.
nuts.
I have a Cineworld card. You know what the hell I'm supposed to do with it?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about you and Leona. You lot are pissed. You lot thought you were cool. Oh, we have our Cineworld cards. Now look. What does Fano say? After all your efforts, it still led you to failure.
Literally, they sent an email basically saying, yeah, you know, if you've got your cards, obviously you're not going to be charged. They weren't charging throughout lockdown, to be honest. So I guess I can see how and why they lost money. But I just really wonder, okay? I just really wonder, do these companies have a contingency plan? And no, you can't plan for a global pandemic, but chains as large as something like Cineworld, which belongs to like a whole franchise, and I think it's something like, what's it called? Royal Theatres in the US. How do you lose that amount of money? It was a lot of time, to be fair. It was 6 months. But like, how? Like
What?
to a point where they need to close. Because what, people are still not going now that we're open? Is that what it is?
Because the thing with something like cinemas is, or at least from what I can guess, is with cinemas is you're renting the films, innit?
Essentially.
Like you're ordering the
much more
films.
than it will cost to rent, by the way.
Yeah, but you're like ordering the film in to like stock it for a certain amount of time, and then how much revenue you make from like from tickets and what's it called? Tickets and then like popcorn and stuff is essentially how you get paid, innit? And if people aren't coming in to watch that, then it's like, oh, I've bought these films.
The films are just playing out.
Do you get what I mean? Like they're just playing out and nobody's there
to be honest, there was barely anyone there when we went to see Tenet.
Yeah, like literally. And I've been to cinema since, innit? And bare people are going to one cheaper cinemas. So when I was in Empire, there was more people there than Cineworld. Actually, no. Even when I went to watch it in Empire, it was literally like 4 people, you know?
There's nobody in the cinema.
There's nobody in the cinemas. But then, yeah, it's nuts. It's peak. I feel very sorry for, like, in terms of like the employment of people, like
a lot of young people as well work in the cinema, and I just think like it's not a great time to lose your job, because they must have been on furlough when it was closed, and then they start, oh yeah, back to work now. And, okay, actually we're closing. Like
closing.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not like furlough. That's just you're redundant now. Like people are going to be made redundant. Damn.
That's one of the like least, like before all of this like pandemic thing, this is probably like the least place you think, you know what?
I'm gonna lose my job.
I'm gonna lose my job from Cineworld. Nah, you're not thinking that.
No.
And for the people that this is your main form of income, this isn't funny. But like it's peak. Thing. But this made me think, do people even go to the cinema anymore?
I do.
Because if we're being for real, like more time, like I feel like now people really only go to cinema to support films rather than to go see them.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because they can see it if they want to.
Literally, like I went to see Tenet. It was because Tenet, I'd say it was more for the cinematic experience because it's Christopher Nolan. So it's like
It was free when you went to see it with us, though.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But same again.
But you went to see it again.
I went to see it again because I was just like, I actually proper rate this film and I wanted to understand it again. I went and watched it again by myself, which is something that you should do, by the way. Like going to cinema by yourself.
I still haven't done it, but I want to.
It's cool. Like
I believe it's an underrated experience. But
I was supposed to go with someone, but life. But then I just, I was like, well, I did. Yeah, I just went by myself, and it was good. But a film like Rocks, have you seen Rocks?
I still haven't seen it. I really want to watch it though.
Rocks looks like a really good film. It's about a girl and her brother like trying to like live basically. That's all I'll say because I don't want to ruin it. But
I feel like that's in the trailer. So
yeah,
but it's about a friendship between a group of London girls.
But that film, I went to the cinema and I was like, I want to support this. Do you get what I mean?
Is it on Netflix?
Now it's on Netflix. Yeah, now it's on Netflix. So I guess
Yeah.
you can still support it if you watch it on Netflix because then they'll order. I think they can like order for it to stay there longer. I don't know how that works really, but that's the type of thing I went to. But with stuff like Netflix and that, it kind of stuff are going straight to Netflix. Some things is like the films that I really
wait
like
anyway,
are on Netflix or on Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime, some stuff
Disney
like
Channel got locked off as well. Speaking of,
brother,
I think that's mad. I
saw that. I said
today won't actually experience Disney Channel being a channel or Disney X. None of it. Like the whole thing got locked off. And my thing is, I feel like that with this whole like, oh, we're taking it away. Do you want to ease us into it? Abrupt. They said like they swiped it from Sky. Like it literally disappeared that day. And it was in the news, like, if you noticed, like, are you kidding me? How are kids going from having Disney Channel yesterday to not having Disney Channel today? I would have cried as a kid.
Fam. And but that's just UK, Like, the American one's still there. They just took away.
Yeah,
Disney.
but, like, is that okay? So now we have to pay for Disney Plus if we want to watch Disney Channel shows.
Literally. And I feel like that's kind of like, it's all market, innit? Like, that's the way everything's being geared towards devices rather than TVs.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. TVs might go out of fashion, or like out of...
I think the actual physical television won't, but like, I guess what you would call broadband will.
Which is nuts.
So like, you don't need Sky if you have an
staples.
Apple TV, if I'm being completely honest.
Brother,
because that's what people are using as like a Skybox.
Yeah, Firefox.
You can watch all the TV you want to,
Yeah.
and equally Disney Plus. Did you know Disney Plus works with Apple TV Plus?
No.
So I have Apple TV Plus. It's free for me, so nobody should at me. But I have Apple TV Plus, and when I wanted to watch something, I downloaded the Disney Plus app on my phone because I wanted to finish watching Moana.
I watched that. That's a bad boy film.
Sick film. What?
Moana's a bad boy film. You niggas are
It
sleeping.
guides me. Oh, sister, now I know. What? What? You will board my ship. I am Moana. Listen, that is a good film. I was watching Moana and I wanted to watch it on my phone. And when I downloaded Disney Plus, straight away, Apple TV was like, oh, you can watch that here. And I said, oh, really? Is that so?
Who would thank it?
Who would thank it? And obviously, if you have more than one device, I know that when I get on my Mac, I can hand that off and I'm watching. And I'm not being funny. Like, you don't have to use the TV application on your devices. But what I will say is when you are using Apple TV Plus or the TV app, it creates a cinematic window. So it doesn't feel like you're watching it online. I don't know how to put it, but there's no flipping bar with all your tabs at the top. It literally opens as whatever it is that you're watching. Because there's a show that I watch called Little Voice on Apple TV, and that's how it comes up. So when you connect your Disney Plus account, it's just, there it is. I'm watching a film on my Mac. So if I was doing that on the telly, and there's shows on here, there's original shows, there's other shows that aren't, that I'm watching it connecting through. I don't actually need a Skybox unless I want to watch ITV, which I can do online. or BBC, which I can do
That's what
online.
I mean.
Like,
It's
I want to watch Line of Duty. That's not coming on TV in real time. I choose when I watch TV. What do I need a box for? iRocco. That's the
This is the iRocco.
That's the only thing right now. That's the only thing right now keeping that broadband alive.
Man said iRocco TV. You're dumb, but that's true though. That's real rap.
What
That's
you
real
need?
rap.
Do you need it? Do you think you need Sky
Me
or
no.
like Virgin? Or,
Even in our crib, who
I
uses
don't
the
watch that.
TV? Nobody. And our TV is big. It's
actually very obnoxiously large.
Fam, like for real, the wall mounted ones. Yeah, it's patterned still. But I'm the only one that uses it, and I use
That's
it
because
for
you
what?
play games. Yeah.
My Xbox. So it's like I use it for games. Nobody literally the TV can be there the
It's
whole
off
day.
all day.
Nobody uses it until I turn it on at like 10 p.m. 10 to 3 a.m. That's
I can't tell you
that's
the last
it.
time I've come home and someone was watching something on TV that wasn't sports.
And when was the last time you came home and wanted to watch something on the TV?
When Love Island was on
Which was when?
last year.
Hey, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
the
whole
last time.
2019, bro.
Basically, well, beginning of the year, I guess, if we talk about the winter one, but even that one wasn't slappers like the last one. And more time, I actually have a job, so I was watching it on ITV Hub most of the time.
That's exactly.
It's only
what
if I caught it on telly. There are very few things that make you want to turn on the TV. I feel like EastEnders is the one that's holding you lot by the neck at the moment. And I'm not going to lie, because I haven't watched EastEnders for so long, I don't know if I could go back. But I love soaps. I feel like when I'm a mum, I'm going to get back into that. That's the kind of thing you do as a mum. You watch telenovelas, you watch a bit of drama on the telly. But I feel like TV's dying, bro.
It's so crazy because it's like the golden screen and the silver screen are hand in hand, are dying.
They're dying together.
It's like the second coming of like Blockbuster going bust.
Yo, they're dying to the internet.
Do you feel like film is just something that's gonna die? Because this is always it's been degrees of film or like the film industry that are going out of style. Like Blockbuster, the stores, now cinemas,
DVD and that dying.
DVD, CDs, like
Blu-ray, all of that died. Who rents TV? Like you
can rent it
online. I can do it on my telly.
Or you can even do it on your book. Yeah, like you can do it with your with Virgin or whatever.
Yeah,
like.
you could pay-per-view. I can rent stuff on Amazon Prime if I just want to watch it and I want to pay.
That's so
Or
nuts.
I can wait for it to be free.
I wonder how this affects films, like how this will affect the film industry. But to be honest, Cineworld in particular, them lot deserved it because of the whole Blue Story thing.
Was it Cineworld that did the Blue Story thing? Wasn't it View?
I swear it was Cineworld.
I don't think so.
Brother, I think it was Cineworld.
Are you sure? I feel like it was either Odeon. It wasn't Odeon. I think it was View.
Blue Story.
I think it was View. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Oh, to put some context, basically when the film Blue Story,
Yeah,
it was Cineworld.
Yeah.
Mad. I didn't have a Cineworld card then. Do you want to explain? Yeah, explain.
What? For the
What
Blue Story
happened?
thing?
Yeah.
Basically, an altercation occurred where at a cinema, I think was it in Birmingham?
Yeah, somewhere up north.
Cineworld in Birmingham. There was like a fight and they were saying there was a fight or like a gang activity that occurred after the showing of a Blue Story, or I think it was during. I can't remember.
I think it was after.
Yeah, it was after, and they were saying it was because of Blue Story. But the people that had cut that the altercation was like with or amongst, they come from watching Frozen 2. So people are saying, "Rah, like, why is this? Why have you cut?" And then they banned Blue Story in it. They said this was the final incident as to why they cut them. So people were saying like, "Why are you cutting this?"
Because they wanted to stop their bag because they're racist.
But what they did say is it wasn't the first incident or altercation that had happened after the showing of the film in their cinemas.
Yeah.
So I kind of fear if you feel like something's inciting violence, then
But it's
you
like
can
prove
do.
it.
That's what I'm saying. How can you really prove it's
can't.
because of the
You
film
can't.
that people are scrapping? Because
That you
I
can't.
went to see the film, man.
Nobody was fighting. I went to see the film several times. I think I saw the film 3 times and I saw it in 3 different locations. Like I saw the film in Woking. Like I didn't see people fighting. But again, it goes back down to the fact that like, because in the film there are themes including real life, which does include gang violence or violence generally, it's easy to say, oh, gangs, black people, violence. But nobody's speaking about violence when we were going to watch Taken and flipping Olympus Has Fallen. We're watching films that are showing us literal terrorist activity bringing down the White House. Nobody's talking about inciting violence. And if fights had broken out after those films, the fights wouldn't be linked to the films.
Fam, like when my man, what's it called? I can't remember. At least I don't recall cinemas banning The Dark Knight from showing
Ever.
When that brother came into the cinema and shot
Exactly.
people dressed as the Joker. That, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, why are the rules different for black people? Do you know what I mean? In terms of cinema. So that's why I feel like personally, Cineworld, you can suck your mums in that regard. You've given me so many memories, like when I spent £20 on pick and mix on a date. You guys came in clutch for that. No, you didn't really, because you didn't tell me how the weighing system works. Got there, I'd queued, fam. I was just like, yeah, you know what? There's all these people behind me. This girl's waiting for me inside the cinema. I'm going to take the charge. And I'm going to charge it to the game. I'm going to charge it to the game. But it's peak, though. It's peak. But yeah, they said all that happened and they stopped showing the film. And it's kind of like, you don't deserve it for the most part.
You're choosy.
A little bit choosy. But in terms of even like what the film was showing, it made me question like, what's film culture in Western societies in compared to African societies? Or like, what does the cinema mean here in comparison to like Ghana? Because from what I recall, at least because I've never been to the cinema in Ghana. From what
we were gonna go last time when we were there, but we just didn't end up going.
Really?
So sad. Yeah, we can go.
That would have been really good to
go.
talk about. Yeah, cause I've never seen or been or know what it's like there. But from what Dad's told us, it's just like he used to go like to different cities, towns to like watch films, and them times it was Bollywood films that them lot would see, because that was like what was kind of made of it. Made available to them, and that was like a real
Bollywood
event.
was Hollywood, basically.
Literally,
if you lot know the truth about film,
like fam,
that was the industry.
So it's like these men would sneak to go to the cinema, like stuff like that.
They wouldn't go to school,
and that's how important it was.
Yeah,
or it is. I've never been like, I'm gonna skip school to go to the cinema.
For what? There's no film that I can't see at a later date.
Do you get what I mean? It's just like people. I never feel like it's ever been that important to our generation.
But you think it's because it's so available to you?
True, because I feel like maybe people from still within the West or within England, like back in the day, or in America back in the day, would sneak to miss school to go watch a movie. Yeah, I feel like it's very much why would the older generation just on like skipping school for like bare
truanting
for bare stuff that
trivial things.
But yeah, for trivial things. Because now when I think what youths are like skipping school for, they're skipping school to be on crud. Like they're not just like let me take you to the movie show. Like that's
maybe we can get the popcorn in it.
That's not what's doing it.
People weren't skipping school for the cinema.
So I think it's interesting because I don't ever feel like cinema is that deep.
Okay. I think, so looking at the difference between, I guess, what cinema means or meant to our parents when they were younger in Ghana as compared with cinema now to us, I think from the conversations that I had with Dad, skipping school to go to cinema or skipping school to do an event, like you're going to do something. It's like skipping school for a party, essentially, except it's in the middle of the day. Lipie, like
I don't give a heck.
I'm going out. I'm going out. Hey, Piako Dupocra, seriously, like they said, what? Yeah, Koshe Sini. Do you get it? We are going to watch a film, and I think obviously you didn't have a cinema in your ends, clearly, because if you had a cinema in your ends, you wouldn't need to skip school to go to link girls and go to the cinema in the next town, or go to meet your friends and go to the cinema. Equally, I think that the way we were brought up with the cinema has definitely like had an impact on the frequency with which we wish to visit the cinema or care about going to cinema. We used to go to cinema all the time.
Yeah, cinema was very important for us.
It was very regular. Do you know what I mean? If you've listened to the previous episodes, it was very regular. It was very important. It was something we did, and we all used to go as a family. Like, it was calm. We saw all the Santa Clauses every year. Fam.
That's why my man, what's his name? Tim Burton, or Tim Allen. That guy will always hold a special place in my heart, fam. Because
even though Dad slept in every one of those films, and I think there were 3 or 4.
Like, you paid to go somewhere. I get you do this on a couch, like on a chair, on a sofa. But big man,
you lot who sleep in the cinema, you're wrong-uns.
Spare snoring, gotta shake this nigga to wake him up. Like, what's wrong with you people, fam?
But like, that's how frequently we used to go to the cinema. All the time. So I feel like because we could go to cinema, it's not like, oh, I'm going to the cinema. Like when I go to cinema how many weekends in a row, Dad's not like, oh, the cinema.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, it's the cinema. You can go. So you go. And I think that when you have something so readily available to you, it is less exciting of an event to go and do cinema. To some people, cinema is like, I'm going on a date. Like, he's taking me to the cinema. And to some people, it's genuinely that, because they don't go to the cinema frequently. They may not ever go to cinema unless they really want to see a film. I can be in the cinema, be watching the credits and see a film, but I want to watch that. Do you know what I mean? I want to watch that. And when it comes out, I'll go and watch it because I saw the credits and I thought it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the trailer at the beginning and I was like, yeah, I would like to see that film.
Yeah.
I see cinema as it's a pastime. And I guess maybe because I really like films, sometimes you want the experience. Cinema is for the experience.
That's
purely.
what I think.
And I think that's why for them it was very important back then. It was an event. It was more of an experience. Wow, I'm going to watch Shah Rukh Khan. Those days. What? Do you not know about Shah Rukh Khan? If you're leaving your yard and you have school to go to, but Shah Rukh Khan's latest film is in the cinema, I would skip school too.
You're gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it.
Like, you would. So I feel like that's probably what it was for them. And I think maybe it's not that deep for us because we've done it so many times that now it's like, oh yeah, it's casual. But I still like doing it. I love going to cinema.
Would you still go on a cinema as a date now? I want to know. And do you think a cinema is a good first date?
First date, no. I don't think it's a good first date unless like you're both really into film. Do you get what I mean? Like, if it's like, for example, let's say when Tenet was dropping, if I was speaking to somebody and we had just been talking, we haven't been out, and he really likes film and we had spoken about Christopher Nolan and we were like excited to see it and, you know, interested to see how it's going, then it's a good first date because we're going to talk about it post film. Yeah. Like, it's something we bond over. Do you know what I mean? But if you're not all that into film, but I am. Don't take me to cinema.
Why are you saying stuff like that?
No, but
I am.
Because I am. Don't take me to the cinema. If you, like, do you know what I mean? Or if you're one of those people who wants to talk all through the film, like, don't go to the cinema with me.
Don't ever come to the cinema with me.
Equally, you know them people who go to the cinema to do romance. What are you doing here? You could have watched this. That's what Netflix and chill is for. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. Don't come in the cinema thinking there's no cameras doing madness.
Hanky panky, you nutty you.
You teasing me.
Nah, fam, you man, that I loved that when I saw that on Twitter because I've been in the cinema and some people around me were moving a bit rowdy and I was saying no. It was all for a reason. Because now you lot have been shamed. There's man in the box watching you do whatever you were doing. Filthy youths. Doing you dirty.
It's a waste. Like, for me, that's a waste of time. I've come here to see a film. Wow. Like, I don't understand why people think that the cinema is because it's dark. You people have no shit.
Trying to touch me in the dark. Ew! There's popcorn in between these seats.
Like,
you're trying to frisk me?
Filthy. Like, have you guys ever wondered what it would look like if you took a UV light?
Fam, that's disgusting. That's this. Have you ever dropped like when I went to the cinema?
If you drop something in the cinema, don't ever pick it up.
When I went I had to. When I went back to watch Tenet by myself, I dropped my mask. I dropped my mask.
You came home with something. It wasn't COVID.
And you know what? Yeah, usually, if you drop something and it's dark, whatever, you do
just
that.
let it, yeah.
I'd try and like figure out where it was.
You tried to feel for your mask.
Oh no, not this time. Not this time, buddy. I tapped everywhere, made sure first. I was just like, damn it! I turned on my flash, put it underneath the thing, and I had to like, I didn't wear that mask again. I literally just did this. I did this when I was.
You can't put that on your face.
So crazy. I put that on. I just had to walk around like this. That's my mate. Yeah, nah. I couldn't. Nah, you can't do that inside the cinema. What was I gonna say before that?
I don't know. We're talking about cinemas in the dark and.
Oh yeah, date. So yeah, you wouldn't go on a date. Then?
I wouldn't go on a first date to cinema.
I would.
If you're like dating, fine, but I wouldn't go on a first date to cinema. No.
I think I would simply.
If it's the drive-in, it's different.
I was gonna get to that simply because I like films, innit? So if somebody else was like really in film, really into films, because I was saying this with with Joanna. I was saying like in terms of like films, like because she writes as well. I was like, do you watch films for just like to watch them, or you like learning from them?
Yeah.
As well? And she was like, yeah, no, like it's both. And I was like, yeah, it's both for me as well, because like I'm seeing how films are sequenced, the writing of it. Wow, why did you think to like Tenet was so interesting to me?
So
just from like
interesting.
For an idea is anyone can have an idea, but if you're a writer or if you're like you have to like create something, to put it down on like pen to paper is so much harder than you'd think it is. Because you can have something, I want this to happen like this. Okay, but the way they have to have a conversation or the way they have to interact has to lead for something to get somewhere else. I was just like, that's mad. Like the way this brother had to think of stuff to intertwine and
the film is so intricate. Obviously, we're not going to tell you if you haven't seen it, but the film is so intricate to a point where you're connecting dots A with dots J.
Fam.
But dot J was shown to you at the beginning. It's mad. Like
dot J was shown to you before dot A.
Yes.
That, you get what I mean? And
but you didn't know that it was dot J.
But I would go for that reason. But if somebody wasn't into it, I wouldn't go.
If you're not
I wouldn't
into
go
film, what on earth is the point?
Drive-ins, I will go to drive-ins though, because I went to a drive-in with my mate the other day, and it was lit.
I've not done that yet.
It was so good. The way it works is they take that they give you a slot, whatever, and kind of from wherever you are in the car park, because the screens are so big, is that it doesn't really matter. And then you tune your radio, and they have their own like station,
so you can hear it in the car.
And then you hear it in the car, and then you're lit.
You can eat and chill and do whatever
you bring your own. You can bring your own stuff.
Blankets.
There's toilets that you can go to. Like you bring your own blanket, your own snacks.
That's lit. Nobody can tell you not to use your phone.
And I feel like that's where kind of cinema might be heading. Like even though there's always been drive-ins.
Yeah,
drive-ins has always been there. Like if you watch these Footloose and these
coming of age white people films.
Yeah, tell me more. There was always the drive-in cinema.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's kind of interesting to see how much technology has come and gone, but it's kind of stayed at the essence of it. And if you look at things in terms of full circle, do you feel like when you're an adult, would you want to go to the cinema with your children? Are you going to make it like a family thing?
Yeah.
See, I would like that as well.
I would love to, if it exists.
That's what I was going to say. That's going to be so crazy. It might not exist.
Because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm just thinking like, bro, if they're going to release another Wreck-It Ralph, it's just going to come to Disney Plus.
Do you get what I mean?
Do you get what I mean?
But that's...
Like, my thing is, going to cinema was so cool. You would see the film, and then there would be toys released attached to the film that you got to see. Like, we saw Toy Story in the cinema. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, the first one was definitely something we saw in the cinema. And it's like, you went there, and then afterwards, then the merchandise was released. Then you got your Buzz Lightyear toy that you wrote your name on the bottom of, you know? Like,
yeah, nigga, I thought I was Andy, bro.
Yeah, you and the guy at Spencer. The kid that used to come to the house.
I even forgot about that, you know.
Yeah, basically there's a lady who's a client of our mum's, and she used to come to do her hair in the house with her kids, and her son Spencer had
and
the
then
same
he got the same one,
Buzz
and then
Lightyear
he
toy.
left with my one.
Yeah.
And I saw this brother's name underneath my, so I was thinking, what the hell?
What
Get this bum ass Buzz Lightyear out here. Spencer, come collect.
Come and collect your Buzz Lightyear
thing.
toy. But it was that, like, you went to the cinema, you had the whole experience, you were so obsessed with the film. And I think also because when you went to cinema, that was like the only time you were gonna see it.
Yeah.
You had to rely on your memory.
Yeah.
Like, unless you were seeing it several times, which as a kid you weren't. Like, you would go with your parents, you probably see the film once.
Like,
you had to rely on your memory. Unless you really loved it, then they might have bought you the DVD. You couldn't like go to cinema by yourself. You were a child, so you couldn't go by yourself, and you couldn't keep going to cinema to see the same film because there was going to be a new film out, and there was no Netflix. The only films that you would see in the cinema that would then come on telly were like Disney films. So like, and it took years sometimes before they would come onto the TV. So it was like, I saw this film now and I have to cherish that I saw this film, and that's all I get to see. You might see clips here and there, maybe on YouTube. You might see interviews where they talk to the actors, but you didn't get to relive the exact film again.
see, and
that exists now. So how am I going to go cinema with my youths if they can watch Wreck-It Ralph on Apple TV?
That's why I had to write this down just now, because it's posed the question, and people have said this before, and it's very much true. But I'm going to ask you, or at least I believe it's true: are streaming services ruining watch retention, or like watchers or like audience attention?
Yeah,
because
I think you can passively watch anything.
And it's kind of like taking the experience out, or like even the focus or the concentration or remembering things. Because from you saying that now, like I've watched The Incredibles so many times, but I'll always remember when we went to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember not even just the parts of us going to watch it. I remember being like watching it on the screen the first time when everyone was just like, when Dash ran on the water and he closed his eyes, and he opened it, he was running on the water and he was just like,
like
and then the brother ran. Like, I remember that from watching it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
even
not
when I
at home that I remember that Mrs. Incredible was fine.
Like, I went to watch The Incredibles 2 on a date. I remember watching it on the screen. Like, I've watched it again since. Like, some stuff I feel like it's so the streaming services now, nothing's that valuable because I can watch this whenever. And that's why I appreciate when things, moving away from film more so to TV series, I appreciate when things are released like weekly. Yeah. As annoying as it is, that and as much as you want to like go through everything, it forces the audience to like pay attention.
I have to remember what happened in the last episode.
Do you get what I mean?
Even though you could potentially watch it again, it's like, okay, but I'm not getting the next part until I get to it. So more time, you'll watch it and then you're waiting. Okay, so in the last episode, this happened. So now I know yeah.
And it's just like, it kind of gives people something to wait for, because I feel like we're in a very, like, our generation now is
the microwave generation.
Yeah, it's a very impatient generation in terms of like just things. Like, I know this is going to send me like counter the thing we were saying before about when things blow and when they don't. But in terms of like, so in terms of like the way things are taken in, it's just like, it can go whenever. Like, I don't need to focus to watch this. But that's so crazy to me, because it's like, I remember like even like Hollyoaks or in EastEnders, it's like, I feel like maybe that's why soaps have gone out of fashion as well, because people don't watch EastEnders as they used to. If you miss it, you've missed it. And it's like, you don't really care to catch up on it, because it's like, I have to catch up on this and then I have to wait. Whereas I can watch this whole thing now
and be caught up and be able to be in the current conversation on the internets about it.
And a lot more shows that are available online, there's conversations happening online.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. More time, you're not talking about, people don't really tweet about shows that they're watching on TV in the same way they tweet about shows they're watching on Netflix. I can make a thread right now about girlfriends that's being shown on American Netflix, and somebody else who's watching it can go and watch it and catch up to where I am and be like, yeah, I agree. If I'm tweeting about Insecure, which is being shown on HBO, but I don't have access to that channel, I can still be involved in the conversation because I can watch it online. But if it's coming on TV and it shows at 7 p.m. every day and I'm working until 7 p.m. every day, I'm not going to see it when I'm on my way home while everyone's watching it. Do you know what I mean? So it's them ones where things that are coming on and you have to watch in real time are a lot harder to keep up with. And I think that's why TV's dying.
Which is nuts.
It's actually really sad.
This is somebody who wants to write for TV. It's just like, better find that Apple TV money.
Boy, Rishi said you need to retrain. You need to retrain, gain some new skills.
For real.
Right.
Yeah, it's looking like it's au revoir to Cinéma.
Oh, that's so sad. The pictures.
The pictures. Oh, yeah, the pictures.
Go to the pictures. Damn. It is looking like au revoir to cinema. But if you guys have a favourite film, tweet us. Yeah, what's your favourite movie? Because all of my favourite films are from the actual cinema era.
Where's your favourite film?
I don't have one favourite film. I have several.
I feel like one of mine is Good Will Hunting.
Good film.
And it's just like...
That film is so good.
I felt like it was me. This would be being like... Do you know what I mean? But it's like, we all kind of feel like, this is one thing, I'm really good at something, but I kind of want to do something else. Or I feel like you feel like that at least at one point in your life, and it's kind of like, which way do I go? I also like Into the Wild, just because it's sad. And Her, I think Her is my favourite.
I don't think I've seen that film.
It's a Joaquin Phoenix film, and it's like he falls in love with like an android. Anyway.
My favourite films are Brown Sugar, obviously. I just love Mos Def, and obviously that's one of my favourite films. Shawshank Redemption is another one. The Truman Show.
Oh, I love Truman Show.
Amazing film. And for my weird lot, The Butterfly Effect.
I'm gonna watch that again. I was literally watching like the clips from it the other day, and like all of the alternative endings.
It's a finished film, but I really, really enjoy it. Okay, top picks. Can I start this time?
Yeah, go on.
My first top pick is going to be Neo and Jeremih, You to Love. I don't know if you've heard that song, but the beat kind of comes like... What is that tune by Biggie? Juicy. Mm-hmm. It kind of sounds like a rework of the Juicy beat. And if you've heard Tamar Braxton's song that uses that beat, you'll get what I mean. But yeah, Neo and Jeremih, You to Love is my first top pick. My second top pick is Tiana Major with Same Space. I can't believe I haven't dropped that as a top pick because I've been listening to it on repeat. It's not in the playlist, therefore it's not a top pick. But I've been listening to that consistently. That's one of my top picks. And my final top pick is again Headie 1, Try Me featuring Skepta. Let me just say, Skepta goes absolutely nuts on that track. Top tier. Anyway, that's it from me.
Calm. My top picks are Knucks with 7 Days. New Knucks, they were dying for it. Yeah, nah, I fuck with that tune. My second one is Odunsi, Star Signs. I'm in love with girls that like to party, drink Bacardi straight and talk about star signs. That's a vibe. It's featuring somebody, but I forgot the name. And I should have put this in the last episode, but my third one is Chip with Killer MC. Fam, a man said, I'm the ruler, super flex. I hit man with a ruler. Do you remember the super flex ruler from school? I do remember.
And them rulers hurt.
Brother.
If you ever got hit with that, that's when you had that mark.
Yeah. People were like wrap it around their arms.
Chinese burn, them styles.
Fam. But yeah, that's us for this episode, man.
Thank you guys for listening and watching. And we'll catch you lot in the next one, man.
It's been your boy, Dance.
It's been your girl, Lex. And you've been locked into TwinPodcast.
Let's get